These are the directions for Project 2, making a Google site. Let me give you some background information for this project. For this assignment, you are going to think of a product or a service that you wish really existed. The product or service you envision should solve a problem that currently exists, or it could just make your life easier somehow. If you did the brainstorming activity last week in class, then you may have something in mind already. Here's an example of a problem that homeowners might like to solve. Lawn watering systems are a convenient way to keep a lawn healthy. Timers can be programmed to turn sprinklers on and off automatically. However, if it is raining when the system turns on, that is a waste of water and money. If the lawn needs extra water during extremely hot and dry periods, a homeowner would have to reprogram the timer and possibly forget to set the timer back to the regular schedule once the hot and dry period is over. This is an inconvenience to the homeowner. A possible solution would be to have the lawn watering system connected to an app that the homeowner could control remotely from a smartphone, a tablet, a home assistant, or other device. So let's take a look at my sample site. My app is called the Rainmaker, and there are 5 pages to this sample site. Now remember, this site is going to represent what a customer would see on their phone or their tablet if they could log into an app that you could make in real life. But this is just a representation. This is not an actual app. So the first page is the home page. And on this page, I just want you to come up with some kind of a logo for your app. So because mine has to do with lawns, I made the background green, and I used raindrops to represent the water that would water the plants in the lawn. And you have to come up with a name for your app. Now, you can use mine as a model, and on every page, if you scroll down to the bottom, I have notes to the student for this assignment, just in case you forget what to do. So you can always refer back to my website as a model and read what I have. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always email me. So the second page of this Google site is the login page. And this is where the customer would have to log into their account. There's a space for the username. There's a space for the password. Now, these spaces don't actually exist. This is just a white box on top of a blue box that I put together. And then over here, I put down, in case the user forgot their username or password, they could click here. This is not an actual link. This is just pretend. And don't forget, if you scroll down a little bit, I have the notes for this page. The third page is called metrics, and that's a little bit tricky. You are giving the customer information in order to decide whether or not to turn on their app. In the example of the Rainmaker app, knowing the current conditions helps the user to decide whether or not to activate the water sprinkling system. So, for example, my customer could be in California on vacation or a business trip, and the customer needs to know what are the conditions in New Jersey, because that's where the lawn sprinkling system is. So I gave the customer some information in order to help him or her decide if they should turn on the water sprinkling system. So we're just pretending this is a day, and the current temperature was 82 degrees. Here are the weather conditions. This is the level of precipitation in that area for the day. I'm pretending that there are sensors in the soil to measure the moisture level. I also am giving the customer the 7-day watering history and how much water was saved in the last 7 days. These are just samples. You do not have to have a list of every single possibility. You just have to put in what makes sense for what your app does. And again, here are the notes for the student at the bottom of the page. The next page is called the Control Center. This is where the customer actually controls the app. So in my demonstration, I'm pretending that there are watering zones around my property or the customer's property. And the customer has the option of turning on the sprinkler in the front lawn, the flowers in the front of the house, the dogwood tree in the front, and a couple of other places around the property. Now I'm pretending that this is the default time for the water sprinkling system to run, and the customer also has the option to increase the time or decrease the time. The customer can start the app, start the water sprinkling system, pause it, stop it. Now, these are just images. These are not actual buttons. I'm just pretending that this is what the customer would see if he or she had an actual app that could do this. So all you're going to be doing is to be putting images on this page, and the images will be to start an app, to stop the app, and you have to tell the customer what they're starting and stopping. So just having a start button or stop button on a Control Center page is not enough. You have to tell the customer what they're starting, what they're stopping. If there's more than one option, sometimes there's only one option, one object that they're going to control. In my case, my customer has the option of controlling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 water sprinklers. The last page of this Google site is called Customer Support. And on this page, you have to have contact information that your customer can use to contact your pretend company. So you're going to make up a telephone number, make up an email address. I think I put down an address. I'm not sure. No, I didn't do it on this one. But if you wanted to, you can put down your mailing address or whatever you need. Any way that the customer needs to contact you, you should have that information. So that's the end of my explanation of what my Rainmaker demo site does. If you have any questions, you can always email me. You can always check back on the Unit 2, Assignment 2-2 page if you want to refresh your memory about what I've said. And of course, email me if you have any questions.